Ladies and gentlemen, this is a practical demonstration on how easy to set up a solar-powered 115 volts or 240 volts 5000 BTU window air conditioner in your home or business.
But it's a 5000 BTU 115 volt air conditioner, and then that's one component.
Again, this demonstration is also applicable to 240 volt window air conditioner, as stated earlier.
The other one is our deep cycle marine battery that we have here, 12 volt.
One of the components being used here in the demonstration is one 12 volts 101 amp hour lead acid deep cycle marine battery. I recommend using a minimum of 4 12 volt 200 amp hour deep cycle batteries to solar power your home or business. With 4 batteries, you can cut off your air conditioner at night and turn on your 2 fans, 5 LED lights, and 1 TV for about 8 hours without running down your batteries more than 50%.
And then we have a auto sensing 12 or 24 volt. You can see right up there, and 12 or 24 volt charge controller, and it charges 50 amps, up to 50 amps.
Another component being used here is a 12/24 volts MPPT charge controller with a capacity to charge up to 50 amps. Remember, charge controller comes in different amps and voltage depending on your specific system, design, and usage.
And then we have a 60 amp resettable fuse on this thing.
The third component that is used here in this demonstration is 160 amps resettable waterproof fuse. This fuse comes in different amps depending on your system needs.
And we have a 2000 watt modified sine wave inverter we got from Harbor Freight, and it surges to 4000 watts.
The fourth component in use here is one 2000 watts inverter with 12 or 24 volt DC, that is direct current, and 120 or 240 volts AC, that's alternating current. This inverter has a surge capacity of 4000 watts. Inverter comes in different DC and AC volts, input and output, depending on your system design and needs.
And then we have two 330 watt mono solar panels that we have wired in parallel.
The final component in use in this demonstration is two 300 watts mono solar panels with 25 amps and 12 volt capacity. The solar panels are being connected in parallel to generate a cumulative 50 amps current and 12 volts. Now watch how the 4 components are being connected together to solar power the 5000 BTU and 500 watts air conditioner for your home or business. Remember, you can save a lot of money and do a great service to the environment and planet Earth by connecting any of your everyday electrical appliances in your home or business to solar panel. Please share, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks.
So we have the negative. We have the negative coming from this solar panel and the negative from this solar panel paired together on here in this branch circuit, and it comes into just one outlet to go into our negative to go to our charge controller. And then we have the positive from both solar panels coming in here, makes one in this branch circuit, and we have the red going in to the red goes into the positive of the charge controller, and the white goes into the negative of the charge controller for the PV. Then we have the battery connection right here is the battery. You got the negative, which is this black wire right here, and that goes over to the battery. And then we have the positive right there for the battery. That goes into a 60 amp fuse, comes out of the 60 amp fuse, and goes into our battery. Then we have 2-aught cables that are 3 feet long that go from our negative to our inverter of the battery, negative on the battery, negative into the inverter, positive on the battery to the positive in the inverter. And this has 3 plugs on it. You can plug in up to 3 things right there, and it's got a USB on it. So it's got an on-off switch as well. And there's the setting, or for each one of these lights over here, they'll be green all the way up to the top, and then they'll go yellow or red. Those are 200 watts each. So you got 10 of these lights on there. So right now, we have this connected, and there's no load on it. The air conditioner's off, and we're at 14.3 volts that we're charging the battery, 27.1 amps coming in, and we have 32.8 volts on the solar panels coming in, 393 watts. Now let's turn this thing on. Right now, let's see, it's about 95 degrees outside, and if we look, that cement is 133 degrees, so it's hot out. So let's turn this thing on, turn it on high, and oops, turn the thing on. Let me see if I can get this to surge for you. Turn it off, and there we go. So that'll surge. That's why you need a 2,000 watt inverter at least. And then it'll stay like that and drops down. Each light is 200 watts. So it's hanging around 450, 500 watts. So if we go and look on here, after we turn that on high, we're actually pulling 530 watts out of our solar panels, and those are 2 330 watt solar panels in parallel. Now, they're 29 volts DC volts coming in to this charge controller, and it is charging at 0.7, 0.9. It's going up. It's charging the battery. There we go. We're at 38.5 amps that we're charging while we're running this load to keep the load running and to keep the battery at 13.6 volts. So in order to be now we're at dropping up and down as it senses it. Now, this doesn't have a fan or anything on this at all for this charge controller. It's static. It has these fins back here that dissipate the heat. So, see, this kind of goes up and down, up and down. We're at 14.2, then it drops down to 12. So it'll just keep this thing going back and forth. That charge controller regulates what comes in from those solar panels. So it's constantly bopping up and down. They're okay to use. I used them for like a year and a half. That's how I started out with this air conditioner, that battery, the charge controller, and that inverter from Harbor Freight. And I had 250 watt panels when I first started, like 3.5 years ago. And I wanted to see if I could actually run an air conditioner. And I was able to run an air conditioner off of this. But it's pretty easy. This is 8-gauge PV wire, solar panel wire. I believe these are 8-gauge as well for these branch connectors. And this is all 8-gauge on there. This is, it actually says on there, it's 10 AWG wire on there. So those are thick enough to handle that load. And I got those at Harbor Freight. Those are 3-foot pieces. And they actually came with the ring terminals on both ends. So I didn't have to do any. The other ones I had to make crimp ring terminals onto those. But the air conditioner will run all day long as you have full sun on those solar panels. And you know, if you were a window air conditioner and it's only using around 500 watts and it's running that load and keeping my battery at 13.2, 13.4, so we're keeps bouncing around, the amps keep bouncing around. We're at 35 volts on the panels coming in, and we're right around 530 watts coming in off those panels, and hanging at 13.2, 13.3 volts, charging at 40 amps right now. Now these things will go up and down, up and down, up and down. If you had an idea that could you run solar off of just a couple of solar panels, I'm showing you how to do it. It's really easy. So please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.